are welcome to another class of biology. We are discussing about plants, the protectors of biosphere. So in the previous class, we learned that plants perform photosynthesis. As a result, the oxygen carbon dioxide balance keeps in the atmosphere. We know that the essential factors of photosynthesis, they are sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll. Okay, today we are going to study in detail about the pigments in plants. I think all of you saw the leaves of plants which are green in color, and when you closely observe a leaf, you can see that the upper side of leaf, this is the leaf of a guava plant, and this is the upper side, that means where sunlight directly falls. It is dark green in color where the sunlight falls directly, but see the back portion, it is light green in color. This is the upper part where sunlight falls directly, and this is the lower part. See the difference, color difference? Okay. Then do you know why the upper side of leaf are dark green in color? So if we want to explain that, we have to learn the structure of a leaf. See, this picture is a cross section of a leaf. If you closely examine the anatomy of a leaf, we can see an upper epidermis, and there are small pores on the upper epidermis. They are called stomata. Just below the upper epidermis, there you can see some long cells, dark green in color. That cells are called palisade tissue or palisade mesophyll. They are very dark in color. Just below the palisade tissue, there are loosely arranged cells which are light green in color. They are called spongy tissue. The color difference is due to the presence of a pigment called chlorophyll. These chlorophyll are seen in cell organelles called chloroplast. So in palisade tissue, there are a large number of chloroplasts present. I think now you are able to explain why the upper side of leaf is dark green in color and lower side is light green in color. It is because in upper side there is palisade tissue. The cells in palisade tissue are rich in chloroplast. That is why the upper side seen dark green in color. But in lower side there is spongy tissue. Here the cells contain a lesser number of chloroplasts as compared with the palisade tissue. That is why it appears light green color. Okay, now we are going to study in detail about the structure of a chloroplast. This is the labeled diagram of a chloroplast. When we study about its structure, you can see an outer double layered membrane. an outer membrane and inner membrane. Inside the membrane, there is a liquid part, and that liquid part is called stroma. Within the stroma, you can see membranous sac-like structures. These sac-like structures are called thylakoid. These thylakoids are seen in groups and they are called grana. So this is the basic structure of a chloroplast. So pigments are seen in grana. The important pigments present in grana are chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene and xanthophyll. All these pigments can absorb sunlight, but only chlorophyll A can participate directly in photosynthesis. So the remaining pigments are called accessory pigments. They absorb sunlight and transfer it to chlorophyll A. The structure of chloroplast is very important because we can explain the process of photosynthesis on its base. I think now you have a clear idea about the structure of chloroplast and the main pigments present in chloroplast. Then the other factors necessary for photosynthesis are carbon dioxide and water. The carbon dioxide is absorbed directly from atmosphere through the stomatal opening. And you know that water is absorbed by roots. Roots absorb water and it transport through xylem vessels and at last reach the cells of leaves. By using water and carbon dioxide and also in the presence of sunlight, green plants can prepare food material. That process is called photosynthesis. So, this is the basic process for existing life on earth. In next class, we will discuss about the chemistry behind photosynthesis.